Alright, everybody, it's been a very, very long time since I've done one of these. Freshman year, 3.5 years to be exact. Glad to be back, and I'm here with...
Anthony.
And basically the purpose of this whole thing is just discussing random BS, just spouting out, saying shit. We've been arguing for the past, 30, 45 minutes
Why CinemaSins is garbage, and we've come to sort of an impasse as we kind of agree but still disagree.
There is some midway into it, but basically he thinks I'm ass for liking CinemaSins.
Yeah.
And I think he's retarded for not understanding CinemaSins being retarded.
But being retarded is an excuse for being retarded. That's not how that fucking works. It's okay, he's retarded. He can be retarded.
but it's just stupid stuff. So basically, your argument, what we stem down to your argument being that you dislike the channel and whatnot strictly because of how they are as people and how they portray themselves.
They are hypocrites and liars, and they hide behind satire when they don't even properly use it. They just say dumb jokes and then they go, "I'm asshole, so it's okay." It's fucking stupid.
I don't 100% disagree with you. I wouldn't know enough to say them as people are good or bad because I don't care enough. I just watch the videos. And to be quite frank with you, I haven't watched one in a very long time, but I still enjoy it because I think it's funny. But
humor's subjective, Chris.
Everyone
can have bad taste. It's okay.
Doesn't mean you gotta like someone trashing on it though.
Everyone can trash on garbage,
I suppose.
Anyway, back to what we're doing. I'm analyzing these shit videos, and then he's saying if my criticisms are valid.
So currently he's looking at everything wrong with Captain Marvel in 16 minutes or less.
Oh yeah, this fucking bullshit video there. Jesus. Marvel movies, young Dumbledore, young Pope, Sherlock Holmes. Is there any beloved institution that Jude Law hasn't infiltrated? The fuck? Why is that a sin? Jude Law's a good actor. He gets top billing in a lot of different franchises. Why is that a fucking sin? Because they're garbage. That's why.
They just do it to be stupid. They're making really what they're saying.
They're like every other douche tuber.
No.
They just fucking jingle keys in front of the toddlers.
What they're saying when they make that comment though is that he gets around. He's been around. He's been in a lot of other shit.
Why is that a bad thing?
Because they're just being stupid.
That's so dumb.
They just choose.
What is the point of that?
They can choose they can choose what they decide is a sin. If they feel like it being a sin, then they're just gonna put it to sin, and you can disagree.
I disagree wholly, which makes it wrong. I'm God. Alright, back to this fucking garbage.
Anything new?
No. Funny, I was thinking the same thing about this chatty friendly fight scene, which happens in every...
Oh, back to this. The chatty friendly, whatever. They're complaining that it's a cliche. The problem with cliches is that we as a society treat them as if we see them in a movie, that movie has to be bad. When it's not about the cliche itself, it's how the script and the movie uses it. If they just rely completely and fall on the cliche, then sure. But if they can use it in a fresh and innovative way, or if it's absolutely necessary to keep the plot going, then there's no real problem with having a cliche like that in your movie.
And what the comment, it says on the screen specifically, just in case you can't hear it, because I don't think you can. It says, funny. I was thinking the same thing about this chatty, friendly fight scene, which happens in every fucking movie.
Basically, they're whining like salty bitches.
Just talking about how it always has to be a fight scene. And they're not fucking wrong, though.
Okay.
Okay, so they're just making a comment about it and then choosing to use it as a sin because they're not wrong.
Is it inherently abhorrent?
No, but half the shit they say isn't.
Half the shit they say is wrong, yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry, they're just being stupid.
That doesn't even necessarily mean that they're being stupid.
You literally just said...
Yes, stupid. Yes, stupid.
It's okay when you call them stupid, but when I call them stupid, it's some fucked up shit.
Like it's the same thing. Like at the beginning of the videos, and most of them, or if not all of them, how they complain about logo time and shit. It has no real
Like,
fucking reason
what's
for it to
wrong
be a
with
sin.
logos?
Exactly,
They
that's what I'm
made the
saying.
fucking movie!
There's no real reason.
I'd be fucking pissed if I was the director of a movie and I didn't get my fucking name in the credits. Like, oh, sorry, you didn't make the cut.
That's what I mean, though. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sin, but it is. They just choose to nitpick at it.
They choose to be fucking
And
dumb. And the fucking... That's the thing. They have such a large viewer base because it's a fucking setup. It's a scam. They lie to their audience and they have them brainwashed into thinking this is good, wholesome content. This isn't
I don't
good,
think they think it's
content.
wholesome necessarily.
Clearly, I'm taking some fucking verbiage, fucking whatever's.
Nice, but they are.
I'm stretching some things a bit further than their actual connotations. Oh, look, I'm using a word wrong, like you do.
No. No.
Anyway.
No, but they're just being nitpicky specifically. If you want me to stop saying it's just stupid stuff all the time.
It's not entertaining. Next.
To you, that's subjective. Entirely.
Again, galaxy brain over here. You're working on the fucking lower wavelength. Back to the video.
There's nothing more dangerous to a warrior than emotion.
He said, there's nothing more dangerous to a warrior than emotion. I will explain what that statement means after I read their complaint. Their complaint is, not even a nuclear weapon, a landmine, a sharp sword, a sniper's bullet, jagged rocks, meat from a plant that once had an E. coli outbreak. I get what they're saying. An emotional dude with a sword probably isn't going to be as fucking powerful as a nuke devastating and leveling an entire town. But in the context of this story, everyone here is 10 times stronger than fucking nukes. So that point is moot. That point is fucking moot. It's like,
but that's the point.
If she gets emotional, she could literally blow up a fucking planet. It's like fucking nukes, fucking E. coli. She could fucking get a temper tantrum and heat up the E. coli out of her system. Like, what the fuck?
But that's the point, though. It's taking it to a literal point.
You can't take it to a literal point in a non-literal medium.
Yes, you can.
Well, you can, but it's inconsistent and it makes you look like a dolt.
Inconsistent, yes, 100%. I'll agree
now,
to that.
Are you telling me that the point is that you're laughing at them being stupid?
Not just laughing, but sometimes I agree with the stuff they have to say, because sometimes the comments they make are actually, I agree with them or I think they're true. But on other times when they make stupid stuff, again, when we go back to the logo time and
some
stuff.
prior context on the why I hate them and why I think they're hypocritical. They, in their videos, will make statements and then that they know are blatantly wrong. And then they'll hide behind the fact that it's satire, which apparently defends you from all criticism. And then Chris would make the argument that, no, they don't do that. They haven't done that. But that's because he doesn't watch them like that. He watches their main videos, which is the CinemaSins. If you go on any of their private channels before they were mostly private and look at their videos, you see that they have the same exact opinions of the sins that they make, and they just hide behind the fact that they kind of make it comical. And they use that as an excuse for if people disagree with their opinions. So they're just lucky that the masses en masse don't disagree with them because of their format. And I guess it's easy to like this drivel. I don't know. All right, Chris. So what were you gonna say?
So what I'm saying is when you said that it was inconsistent, I agree with that. But again, they as the channel, they can do what they please as that content, inconsistent or consistent. I mean, it affects how people view it, like, how you yourself think it's stupid. But it being subjective means, like, you hate it, whereas someone else can just be like, oh, wow, what a funny comment, or, some stupid reactionary stuff like that. And I know. I just wish most of the human race had more than, like, 20 IQ.
and
you specifically, your problem is, like, that they have a problem with, or at least you believe that they actually have a problem with every movie that they do sins of because they actually believe those opinions, right? Like, they actually believe these opinions, even to a fault. Even the stupid stuff to them is, completely. What am I trying to say?
I know which of these movies they like and they don't like. Because in the movies that they like more, they say a lot more dumb shit than in the movies where they have actual criticisms, and then they just say it's satire when people disagree. For example, let's say, like, they absolutely hated Toy Story 2 or 3, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and it was something to do with, like, animated movie. No. They hated the fact that they were making a live-action Pooh movie, Christopher Robin, which is actually a fantastic movie. And it's about, like, even though you can become a man and you have more responsibilities and all these things you have to do as an adult, you can still enjoy life and have a fun side to you and see things through a positive lens. And it was a really heart-touching movie. And but they didn't like it solely. I don't even think it's they. It was the main one that's usually talking. He didn't like it solely because he doesn't like the trend of people making live action versions of old stuff, because he says it's tired and
so he doesn't give it an actual chance to shine in its own light and prove itself.
Yeah, he doesn't give it an actual chance because he thinks that it's a waste of time because it's not unique. It's reliant on old IPs or intellectual properties and that kind of shit. But one, it's not just based on Pooh, it's its own work, because pretty sure the original Pooh didn't really deal with this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure this is like a continuation, and kind of a reimagination, kind of how like God of War 4 was still a sequel, but it was also a soft reboot.
That makes sense. I can't disagree with that.
And he's just judging it on that. But then, when people judge his opinions, he gets butthurt, and he's like, or any other equivalent word that would sound more proper, and he's like, well, it's just satire. Why are you getting mad at it? You can't dislike my opinion, it's satire. And then it's like...
When opinion does satire or not, you can still have your own opinion about it and like it or dislike it.
Yeah, and it's like, I should be allowed... That's what I'm saying, like, he's trying to say that people shouldn't dislike his shit,
right?
Because that's what he thinks, and that's why I'm like, I dislike his shit, and I don't think other people should like his shit. Because if he wants to think that way, it's okay for me to think that way. It's like because it's fucking fair game. He brought it to the table. Standard. Yeah, because if he can do it and I can't do it, then it's it's double standards and it's more hypocrisy. It's like kind of like when a smoker tells you not to smoke. But I always thought that example was kind of bullshit, because they're the ones who experienced it, and if they tell you don't to smoke, you probably shouldn't smoke. But anyway, you get the idea. You get the gist. Let's talk about something else. I'm tired of saying.
Okay, no. So basically, the point made here is he doesn't like them as people, and because of that, it tarnishes the channel and their respective channels because of it. And for me, I don't know them as people, so I wouldn't be able to, I could go and look for myself and find these things out and maybe agree with him, but I enjoy the channel for its content regardless of its inconsistency.
Yeah, but because as of now, Chris is the common man. Because most people don't go out and research shit like this, so they just think that they take everything that they say at face value, usually.
For this specifically, yes, but like, because this doesn't interest me nearly as much as other topics do, so I don't really go into research.
To be fair, it's like fucking garbage level entertainment. Like, you just watch it to watch it. You don't don't watch it to think about it, which is why most people don't really care.
Oh, I love these guys. Let's look at their personal lives and stuff. Let's learn more. No, I'm just there to see the video and enjoy it.
Way to frame that as if it's creepy. I was like,
find out what fucking see what they're doing is their own respective people individually.
New Penguins video, Moist Meter, One Munch Man.
One Munch Man.
One Munch Man.
Okay. So since we're on the subject of movies, what would be your favorite movie series, if you have one? And that could be anywhere from ranging from like the MCU from 2008 to now, or just like the Back to the Future trilogy or something like that. Your favorite movie series? Yeah, of all time, and why?
Let me check my DeviantArt. I think I wrote it down. I know my top 10 movies is Jurassic Park, Hard Times with Charles Bronson, the original Blade is...
the original Blade is good. I think the second one wasn't as entertaining.
No one. You don't need to talk about the sequels.
The third one was kind of alright.
It was all okay.
Acceptable.
Oh, this is out of date. Oh, I have the TV shows. I wish JoJo's counted as movies. If it has Arnold in it, I'm gonna like it. I think the only Arnold movie I don't like is Raw Deal, because that's also the only Arnold movie that's genuinely a bad movie. And I was very disappointed that he was in that. Even Hercules in New York was better than that, and that was when he couldn't barely speak English. He was like, "No, I didn't do it. I did not. Zeus, I don't want to be Hercules." And now he's like, "Come on, go!" And he's doing emotional roles, and I'm really proud of my boy. Arnold's my favorite actor. What else? I sent it to someone, my list of just, like, the best movies. Where's my phone?
So you don't have a specific favorite series, just favorite movies specifically?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick series, if I had a favorite series, like, on its own, I can't say Jurassic Park because, I mean, I like it, and even if the sequels are garbage, because I personally didn't think they were garbage, and I have reasons as to why, and they weren't made by garbage people, so I can defend it, but they do have a bit too many stinkers for me to like the series as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like,
or even the reboot, or not necessarily the reboot, but
the Jurassic Worlds.
Yeah, Jurassic Worlds.
I like one, the original, because everyone does. It's a good movie. I like The Lost World because it was actually surprisingly good, and I like, even though Fallen Kingdom was kind of bad, I still liked it because I liked what the director they did is really good of horror, and I like how they tried to make the Indoraptor scary, and I like what they were trying to do there. It was pretty cool. I just didn't like
A for effort type thing.
Yeah, it's still a basic ass bitch dinosaur. And it's like, what's different? It's just a smaller Indominus. Doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, so what about, like...
I like the MCU, but like, you could skip like 18 of those movies
and still know exactly what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it's like you don't really. So yeah, I can't really like it as a whole.
What really makes the MCU so seductive is just the connection that it's amassed.
Fucking Thanos' juicy ass.
It's the connection that it's had since the beginning. Like if they started this now, and they did these movies and just had them that way, then there would not nearly be as much emotion or fallout and stuff that people,
because there was no build up.
Exactly, obviously. Yeah. But even if they had like just these later movies, like you see, like if they started like say at Ragnarok or some shit,
that wouldn't even make sense. No one would know who the fuck these people are.
That's true.
Also, if you don't know, most people wouldn't know what comic book characters are without the movies, because the movies are the way people learn about comic book shit. Like, if you guys didn't know, before the MCU, characters like Captain America and Thor and Iron Man, they weren't really that big with people. It was all about Spider-Man and the X-Men. Those was what everybody cared about. And you want to know why? Because they had TV shows.
And movies. The Tobey Maguire movies, aside from the third one, which we do not talk about.
I like the third one.
I thought it was alright up until a point.
Yeah, I liked them because they were all kind of bad, if I'm being honest.
Well, and then there's the X-Men, where it just had some that didn't hit as well, but they weren't necessarily bad.
X-Men had, like, the original series had, like, 2 good movies, and the new series, I like all of it. I even like Dark Phoenix. I feel like it should not have gotten as bad, because I see my feelings on Captain Marvel is like, it's a meh movie. Like, it's perfectly in between. It doesn't really do anything, like, bad, but it's because it's safe. It's a safe movie, but it doesn't do anything good either. It's a perfect 5, right in the middle average. And then you have something like Dark Phoenix, which does do some bad things, but it also does a lot of entertaining things and interesting things. So it's more of like a 6 or a 6.5. So it's like, it's good. Well, not good, but it's better than average.
What about Wolverine or X-Men Origins? Like Wolverine, that movie.
With the first Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking bad.
We don't.
That's fucking Baraka with eye lasers. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not even a movie. The fucking CG claws. You don't notice it because everyone remembers it. Because our memories have this fucked up way of making everything seem like it was real. But if you go back and watch that movie, the fucking claws are so obviously like PS2 graphics, like fucking claws. They're just floating on top of his wrist.
They were pretty trash.
Yeah, sometimes they're not even synced properly, and you can see them float above the wrist for a second. It's not good. There's nothing good about that movie.
Or like, okay, like personally, my favorite Wolverine movie of all time is Logan.
Well, that's because it's the best X-Men movie of all time. That's an easy pick.
That's actually true. It is the best X-Men movie.
But
Also, it's just really emotional. If that's why again MCU has that flair to it, because they've took the time and effort to create this connection between the audience and these people, the fans and whatnot, and that's what makes these movies so good. Like Endgame, if they had not followed through and done the things the way they did, if they had just done exactly what DC does, that catch-up game and stuff like Endgame would be nowhere near as popular as it is, and it wouldn't be like the top-grossing movie of all time right now.
Yeah. People be hating on Ed Norton Hulk, but that movie had a fucking bomb-ass soundtrack.
Okay, so look, I already told everybody this in my Instagram, but I loved Edward Norton's Hulk. It was a great movie up until like the last 5 to 10 minutes of it.
I'd say the whole movie. It's like, okay.
I enjoyed the movie. I didn't have problems with it.
I thought it was kind of the opposite. I thought it was riddled with shit, and it had like 20 minutes sprinkled throughout the movie of like really good shit. Like,
there was some stupid stuff.
Like the shit, like fucking Betty Ross whispers the whole movie, and then there's one scene where she's screaming, and then she goes back to whispering the whole movie. It was so jarring and gross.
Yeah,
the fact when they made fun of the classic purple shorts, that's stupid. I did like that Lou Ferrigno had 2 cameos in this movie. 2. If you don't know, he's the original live-action Incredible Hulk, and he's just a huge-ass bodybuilder that they painted green. It's like, he didn't need to have CGI muscles.
They did give him, I don't know what it's called, but they did do stuff for his nose and forehead.
Like prosthetics?
Yeah, prosthetics. They did prosthetics for
his nose. I was about to say,
like,
they didn't fucking give him full rhinoplasty for, like, a scene.
No, Lou Ferrigno was actually just a beast, but I'm not gonna lie. Some of those Hulk sequels with Lou Ferrigno were like, eh. Like the one he did with Thor. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That one was like, what the fuck?
That shit was on point. Where's the Thor TV show? I've been waiting, dude. No, it was garbage.
And then, like, speaking of like Marvel and DC, I think DC is finally getting on their feet.
No,
I think they are. I think they started with Wonder Woman, and
now
there's Aquaman, and then Shazam was a decent movie. And they've got the Joker movie coming out that I'm actually pretty excited for.
Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. No. All right, guys. A lot of people think that DC is getting back on its feet. They're figuring out how to make DC great again. All that's good shit. The problem is they've been feeding us horse shit for so long that we get like a semi-above average movie and we're acting like it's godsend.
That's
like
true.
Aquaman was okay. It made you laugh. You enjoyed watching it. It was a fun movie. But if you think about it for any modicum of a time frame, it's fucking garbage. It's fucking, why is he doing this shit?
I think Aquaman was an enjoyable movie. Like Shazam, I 100% enjoyed.
Yeah. Okay, you want to know why you like Aquaman? Because it's fucking Jason Momoa. Everyone wants to see fucking Khal Drogo throwing submarines and kissing mermaid bitches. All right, now go on to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. That was actually a pretty good movie. It was like a solid 7.5 out of 10 on my rating scale. And what do you?
I'm looking at the actor's name because I always forget.
Gal Gadot.
No. You do your thing. You keep
the guy who plays Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot his name too.
I love him as an actor, which is why I'm mad that I forgot his name.
Okay, back to so yeah. Also, it's not Gal Gadot. It's Gal Gadot. She's from Israeli. You fucks.
Zachary
She's
Levi.
from Israel. She is Israeli. See, I made fun of you, and I looked like the asshole because I was dumb as shit. That's karma, guys. Instant karma. That's not how the Hindus thought it.
But like Shazam, I'm not gonna lie, I mostly loved Shazam because I love Zachary Levi. I watched like things like Chuck and Video Game High School and things like that. Like those were good for me.
Video Game High School is another one of those things where you think it's good when you watch it, and then when you watch it later, you're like, I watched this.
What the fuck?
Back to DC. That's a tangent. Well, I'll get to Shazam. I want to talk to you about that because I watched it recently.
Okay.
But and I love Mark Strong. I think any movie he's in is fucking elevated. But that just helps it from being average.
Yeah. That's true.
So Wonder Woman, I think it was the only real decently good. Is like 7.5, maybe 8 on my scale.
Part of this is, what's the name of the dude who plays Superman? This is partly his fucking
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, this is partly his fault for fucking CGI beard.
Yeah, they fucking ruined in Justice League. Also, because Justice League was just a bad movie.
Yeah, they had so much potential, but they were just like, we're gonna fucking do it, guys.
Let's do everything wrong and then reshoot it worse.
Because
that's
the
what
problem
happened.
is Zack Snyder.
His daughter died.
Is it Zack or Scott?
Zack Snyder's daughter died in the middle of production, so they called Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon's like, we can't use any of this. And then he fucking reshot the whole movie, and it's still bad.
Yeah, he couldn't save it. But the problem, the thing
for
I think
context,
the problem
Joss Whedon has done work on a lot of MCU movies, including Age of Ultron, which was okay.
Age of Ultron was alright. I liked Ultron in that movie. It was good, but as a movie as a whole,
Didn't
it
he
didn't come
make
together.
the first Ant-Man?
I think.
And the second Ant-Man was made by those two.
But Joss Whedon did some good MCU stuff and some alright MCU stuff. But Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
It's
Zack.
The problem with Zack Snyder's director, even before his daughter's unfortunate passing, he knew these characters are badass. These are cool characters, and these are beloved characters that are pop culture icons. But he didn't understand what made them cool. It's like he looked at the couple covers, maybe opened up a few comics and decided, yeah, this is what they do, this is what people like, and he shoved it into a movie and expected people to like it.
I bet all he did was read The Killing Joke.
I don't even think he read that. I really think he didn't understand his characters.
I think he did read the comics. I don't think he read the comics like a fan does. I think he skimmed through them. He read through like maybe the 3 comics that you have to read to understand Batman, or the 3 comics you have to read to understand Superman. But the problem is, their must-read comics is because they're deviations from the norms for those characters.
Yeah.
For example, he probably read of the Frank Miller version of Batman, where he's all old and crusty, and he's in the fucking Fallout power armor, beating the shit out of
Honestly, it would make more sense for a Ben Affleck type Batman, so I could agree with that.
Yeah, it's freaking...
Even Ben Affleck hated it. He's not playing Batman anymore, I'm pretty sure.
Damn. But anyway, back to Wonder Woman. The only real problem with that show is that fucking Ares was a middle-aged fucking British man. What the fuck was that? You thought he would turn into some like uber Chad fucking ultra buff god. No, he just had like weird metals magnetized to his face and his chest. That was dumb. He literally,
for a god, he can be what he wants. Yeah. He's just like, I'm gonna be this.
I'm gonna be that
dude from fucking Harry Potter.
And sorry, the dude's actually like a really great actor, but like he's not a god of from anything. It's like he's not the god of war. He's the god of like middle-aged mustache Britishmen. It's like
fucking pencil neck mother.
Yeah, and he had like a pot belly. Like what? But anyway.
Deceiving.
That's just rude, mean, heinous shit. It's not real criticism. The real problem is like there's some dumb shit in that movie. It's like what's it? Besides the Ares plot, which was kind of just ham-fisted, there was he literally beat it with the power of hope, and then war just fucking stops. You beat the god of war, so man is no longer sinful. It's like that was dumb. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna fucking like pick flowers? Like, oh, we need oil, but it's y'all's oil, and they're like, it's fine, we can share. It's like, no, war's just gonna happen again, and Ares is gonna grow stronger. But yeah, that movie was genuinely like okay to good. And then we have Shazam. It was a funny movie, but it doesn't. I don't really think it got Shazam. Shazam.
I think for an unpopular character, or a character who's not as well known as other characters, they did well for him.
Also, correction. His name is Captain Marvel. Shazam is the wizard. If you didn't know that.
No, but they named it at the end of the movie, I believe. They gave him that name.
Cool.
But
everyone calls him Shazam because Marvel was like, we want Captain Marvel. And then they're like, fuck you. And then they're like, okay.
They had to do fucking Miss Marvel.
So they started just calling him Captain Marvel in the comic, but on the covers, they started calling it Shazam. But Shazam is the wizard, Captain Marvel's the man, so I'm going to refer to him as Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, when he's Billy Batson, is supposed to have his kid brain, but when he's Captain Marvel, he's supposed to have the maturity of an adult with a childlike innocence. Not, I'm a freaking toddler. It's like...
Well, I suppose we can't get on to him too much for deviating a little bit, because MCU has done that plenty of times.
Yeah, they deviated, whatever. But, like, that's... That's like the true nature of the character, and I feel like they kind of miss that. Like when you deviate from a story, you don't really change the character unless the setting calls for it. Like in the MCU, they don't take away Captain America's patriotism. They just make him more accepting over time of like things he wouldn't have been accepting of back in like fucking Nam, whatever.
Wakes up 70 years later and black people are working at coffee shops.
It's like, what?
Wait a minute. You're not at the back?
It's like
no.
Steve Rogers confused. No, but so it's like you don't take away the core of the character. They basically made it just Billy Batson, and he has adult bod. See, but it did allow for more comedy, and a lot of the jokes did hit for me personally in that movie, so I liked it.
I don't like his reaction to finally finding his mom, and then just being like, I gotta go be my real family, you know? See you. Like, I feel like there should have been more emotion into it.
I didn't mind. It was like she didn't deserve emotion. She fucking loved him.
I mean emotion for him since he spent so long.
No, she didn't deserve emotion from him. That's what I'm saying.
I suppose. No. But now from the Captain America thing, that I could just imagine Captain America sitting in a cafeteria watching a Captain America film. Like, so you found out black rights exist.
How to deal with it. Times are changing, Cap. No, I don't think he's racist. There's black soldiers working with him back in the war.
I know, but I just think it'd be funny.
Like he's not that old.
It's like, why aren't you laughing, Steve?
Like he's back in the Buffalo Bills, whatever.
Why aren't you laughing, Steve? Bill Cosby is hilarious.
Hey, I want to finish talking about Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Okay, so Billy Batson. So I didn't like that, but it's fine. It allowed for more comedy, and a lot of the comedy hit. I thought Mark Strong did an excellent performance as the evil doctor, angry Jewish boy. I don't think he was actually Jewish, but probably, I don't know. But I always think Mark Strong does a good performance because I think he's gold. Mm-hmm. But that was good. I like the family. I like the dynamics.
And did you see?
I didn't like how everyone got Shazam's powers. I don't think that's how that works.
Well, there were 6 wizards.
Yeah, but how did he get their power?
That's true. He's just like, guess what? Plot armor.
Yeah, I don't remember that being explained. But then again, I also fell asleep because the climax was kind of the least interesting part to me.
Yeah, he didn't really fight enough. More like he just got around and got lucky.
Yeah, like Shazam, Captain Marvel spent most of the movie running away because he's a child,
and that's fine because that's just him.
But he was more aggressive when he didn't have his super durable body.
That's true.
He actually went and fought people, then ran. This Captain Marvel is left. He's like, I gotta go. But I don't know. That was kind of dumb.
Oh, and what's funny is I found a plot hole is like before the other guys became Shazam, before it was explained, one of the kids referred to him as the 7 Deadly Sins. He's like, okay, so they're the 7 sins, guys. We got to get them. But
how'd they figure out they're the 7 Deadly Sins? He didn't talk about it.
There was no prior information to them. They just suddenly knew.
The only people he told were the businessmen that he murdered.
Exactly.
Because one of them was his dad and the other was his brother, and then the rest were just there.
Just using the excuse of they can count to 7 doesn't mean shit. Like, they don't have to be demons. They could just be 7 random fucking
the 7
bad guys.
Plagues. The 7 anything.
It could just, or it doesn't even need to be 7 anything. It's just 7 different things that are just here together, done for the same goal. They could have been Aguilar, Agrarius, whatever.
And
did you see the after credit scene?
Oh,
with the caterpillar. I forget what the dude's name is. He was one of the stupidest arcs in the Justice League history. He's a caterpillar who has a fucking speaker attached to him so that he can speak, and he's just smart. That's it. So that's the arc they're going for. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny.
I think it's stupid. I think that's how unconfident.
Back to the beginning of this movie.
But it's so it gets me like what the fuck? You're unconfident that you can't.
It's an above average movie, but it's not really good. Anyway, there's a scene in the beginning where we find out that Shazam the wizard the old man has been fucking living with these demons and the cursed statues, keeping them sealed for millennia, looking for a champion and realizing no one is right. And it's like, what are they just, and they fucking talk to him. They can talk to him. So it's like he just wakes up, brushes his teeth. Shazam! You're getting weaker, Shazam. I can feel it. And he's like, shut up! It's like
for a millennia.
Shazam! You're never going to find the champion.
And then he's just like, when he realizes he can't find one, he just picks the first motherfucker that comes through the door.
He's like, Shazam! And then he's like, you know what? Fine. And he just like, Billy Bats, you beat up bullies. And it's like, I'm literally not pure of heart. I don't care. I'm going to die.
You have no fucking choice.
Grab my magic rod. It's like, say my name. Shazam.
Shazam.
I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go get a drink. You talk to the people.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. Didn't seem light. Just a little bit. I don't know.
Say my name and gain my powers.
A soy boy.
For prior context, I called him out earlier for being a cinema cuck.
Can you give me some as well? Like, just rinse it out?
Yeah, sure.
Or use the cowboy cup. Whatever. Okay, so anyway, I think there's enough discussion on Marvel and DC that they get discussed by everyone. Endgame is 100% my favorite movie of all time because of the connection I have with the characters and the build-up. And, you know, I was really young. I was 8 years old when Iron Man came out. And then I'm growing up with these. I mean, everybody is, but for me, I'm not saying I'm special at all. There are plenty of people that are in this exact same boat, but it's just I grew up with this, and it's such a huge part of me to see this arc that's been building for so long finally end and open up a new arc that has the same potential. So Endgame is definitely my favorite movie of all time. But the next topic we're going to be talking about is I think it may end up being the last or second to last topic. I don't want to keep you guys forever. We're already 36 minutes in. But the next topic is going to be the biggest crashes for game companies, or falls from grace from companies. And I think it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of companies in recent times, ranging from Blizzard, unfortunately. I'm so mad about the Blizzard one. From Blizzard to Bethesda, whereas Bethesda is less shocking, honestly, because they've gotten by on just being alright and having semi-interesting games and pandering to basic bitch shit. But that, and then maybe we'll talk about, favorite animes or something. We'll see where the conversation takes us as we go on, because we really are just doing this at random. I have some notes with me to kind of guide us along to the specific topics I want to do, and I do want to do the falls from grace. But outside of that, it's really just you allow the conversation to flow as it is and do its own thing. And then we'll talk about, at the end, being back and whatnot, and yeah. So, while we're here, let's see, since I'm by myself, if any of you are interested in any other, if you guys are interested to know, like when I'm going to be uploading videos and stuff, or content similar to this and other content, because I intend to do more than podcasts. I intend to do, skits and things like that for you guys. If you're interested to know how that content is coming along, or how it's when upload times are going to be, you can follow me. I'll put that in the I'll put that in the description, so that you can look at that as well.
What did I miss?
I just talked about how Endgame was my favorite, and further topics of discussion, since we're really going to move on.
Yeah, I liked Endgame a lot too. Thought it was the perfect ending. Nice little bow. Yeah, Iron Man soundbite at the end of the movie. Let's go.
Oh yeah. I think that could be, what is it, Ironheart, right?
I do not want Riri Williams in the fucking MCU. She is garbage. She's fucking racist and psychotic.
Okay. But moving on, the next topic that I said we were going to discuss while you were away was biggest falls from grace in the gaming industry in recent times.
Is that really the next topic of discussion?
Yes. My pick is Blizzard.
Diablo 3 or whatever it was.
Diablo Immortal.
All right,
yeah.
Diablo 3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know shit because I don't really care about Blizzard.
But they were on fire, you know. They had stuff like Overwatch and Hearthstone and things like that. And the Diablo series was the next stepping stone in a rising fan base that was just doing so well and getting so much traction. Yeah. And then they were like Diablo Immortals, and it was like, oh, a fully playable mobile experience.
Oh, what nobody wanted, just like what Bethesda did with Elder Scrolls.
And they were like, it was so funny. It was like people complained about it because they didn't want it. They wanted that next Diablo game. And what everyone thinks is they're just using this to hold off until they're ready to announce it.
And then they were rude about it. They're like, what, you don't got a phone?
Yeah, you don't have a... You guys have phones, right? It's just an out-of-season April Fool's prank. No, this is a fully playable experience. And no one is wanting to waste all that data on their phone. That's why we had... People, they have, like, games like... They thoroughly enjoy it that are useful in a mobile experience. Like I play Dragon Ball Legends. Or busy games that they play when they're bored and shit. Like fucking Sudoku and shit. But in your opinion, what is the worst fall from grace you've seen, or steady decline?
Steady decline. There was a point. I don't remember what time period it was. It was a couple years. It was years ago, but Capcom was really falling off of grace. They used to be Cap God. They were releasing everything everyone wanted at the right times. But then they started like making Resident Evil what people didn't want it to be. They started making fighting games like fucking ultra monetized. Fucking.
See, I think Resident Evil 5. Go ahead. I think Resident Evil 5 got too much hate. I enjoyed it. Resident Evil 6
I love Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 6 was garbage.
Resident Evil 6 was not good at all, honestly.
I think Resident Evil 4 is not as good as Resident Evil 5, and I think a lot of people are just nostalgia riding its dick. And
I think it was a fun game.
It was a fun game, but I think Resident Evil 5, not only does it improve upon the action mechanics of Resident Evil 4, it also takes itself seriously as a story.
Okay, that I can agree with 100%. That's a good articulation in that argument.
It feels like it's trying to be more like Resident Evil, even though it's branching more off into the action side instead of the survival horror side of things.
And that Resident Evil 6 didn't take itself seriously at all. It was just.
It wanted to.
It's fun for me to play because I like. It's fun for me to play because I like some of the other mechanics that lie within it, but I don't like it that much. I play it because again, it's fun and I play it with friends. Resident Evil 7 though came out and they pushed themselves right back up to the top in that.
No, that helped. They started going up with that, and then they. But then, hang on. We got to get to where they're falling from grace.
Yeah, you're fine.
They were messing up the fighting games. They were messing up the Resident Evils. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Jesus Christ. They ruined Marvel vs. Capcom. They made the game fun to play, but they made it ugly as shit, so no one wants to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is fucking boonk. Nobody wants to play that. And they didn't have enough characters. The menu select screen is ugly because they have a Marvel character on the Capcom side. Winter Soldier.
That's a nitpick.
What the fuck is that? It's the ugliest thing. It literally.
I do think they tried too hard to be like other games instead of being themselves as they were.
And you can tell that they started trying because they fixed Chun-Li's face. Captain Marvel looked fine. All of the characters that came as DLC or after main launch looked good. And it's like they just started out bad, and all of the freaking perfectly tuned mechanics that game has isn't good enough to save it. But but then they started releasing Resident Evil 7, which is somewhat of a return to grace to survival horror form. It's not the third-person tank controls that most people wanted, but it is still there. Then they did RE2 Remake,
which was fucking good.
It was a perfect blend of the survival horror of the original games and the new action format, which is what most fans wanted. Some old bitter fans didn't want it, and some of the action fans didn't want it. Oh wait, most of the action-only RE fans are worse than the survival horror RE fans because the action-only ones are like 6-year-olds. But I don't want to get into that discussion right now. You can just look on their YouTube comments and be like, no, RE5, RE4, only good game. And they like spell it wrong. It's like, whatever. But
Resident Evil 2, I think, is a really, really good remake.
Yeah. The Resident Evil 2 remake. Then they released, something good they didn't, fighting, they're not fighting, they released Devil May Cry 5.
That game is dope as fuck.
They're slowly bringing their way back to, Monster Hunter World. Like, Cat God is coming back, but they had a big decline for a while. Does everyone remember DMC with Dante? The fucking weird-ass reboot that nobody liked. That was garbage. Fucking, why was he in PlayStation All-Stars? He was garbage. What? There's so many blunders that Capcom took, but they're slowly building themselves back to the empire they once were. Pretty good. And fucking Bethesda, I didn't want to bring them up because they're kind of the easy scapegoat to pick on.
Yeah.
But
I mentioned them.
The black sheep Bethesda, they're fucking garbage. They haven't made a good game since Skyrim. And Skyrim's not even that good a game.
What I think, though, is, like, I can't call them a fall from grace because it's not like they were in grace to begin with. They were making alright games.
They were always, like, kind of indie developer, but with money.
We need to give an indie developer $2 billion or some shit.
Yeah. Like, they're just indie developer with a budget.
But, no, I mean, like, I do think that Skyrim is a fun enough game.
Skyrim's fun to play, but the modding community is what keeps it alive, and Bethesda relies too much on that. They don't really provide good base games. Fallout 3, unpopular opinion, I personally think it was a great Fallout game. And not only did it stay true to form while adding new stuff to it, it also got people into Fallout. They made people want to play the old games, which is highly needed because those are the classics. Those are the best parts of the series. That's what started it all.
And then fucking Fallout 4.
Because as much as I love Fallout, it was pretty niche before Fallout 3 came out.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, that's why they were going bad. That and many bad company decisions and getting shafted, all these different things. And Bethesda saved Fallout. And then they fucked it up when they screwed Obsidian with that whole Metacritic score thing when they got the 84 out of the 85 they needed to get the rights to make another game, I think it was, which would have been great because Fallout New Vegas refined the old system of Fallout 3 and made it more like a Fallout game. Even more like a Fallout game, which Fallout 3 was already kind of like. It was just really good. And then fucking Fallout 4 comes out and everyone's fucking riding its wasteland jock.
I think it was an interesting game.
It's fun.
The story was ass, but the stuff outside the story was interesting.
The way
was the
it
best part of
works
the game, honestly.
is it's fun to play, but it's like those DC movies. You start thinking about it, and it's fucking garbage.
That's true. Okay, I can agree.
Because like the story is ass. The story is same for every ending except the Institute, and the only reason you would play the Institute is so you can get the synth gorillas into your settlement. But you don't even have to do that. There's a terminal before you blow up the Institute where you can say free everyone, and then the gorillas can be captured. So you don't even need to side with them ever because there's no reason to. Like, I know people who do because they're like, oh, it's the obvious option for the wasteland because the technology advanced. They kidnap people, kill them, and turn them into fucking robots. They're not good people. I don't give a shit about Sean. He lived a whole ass life. He's not my son.
That's true, though. That's true.
He's older than me.
I knew you for all of like a year. You might as well not be my kid.
Yeah, it's like he's an adult now. He's made his own life without my influence. He's not related to me except by blood.
That's true.
And it's like telling a sperm donor, it's like, I'm your father. Like, no. So no, there's no reason to pick the Institute. And then the other three endings with the Minutemen, the Railroad, or the Brotherhood are all the same, except the difference is with the Minutemen you don't have to kill everybody. The Minutemen you can be all pacifistic, but if you go with the Brotherhood you gotta kill everybody else. You go with the Railroad you gotta kill everybody else. and they all end with you blowing up the fucking Institute.
Honestly.
And it just depends on if you want to do it with a big robot, or if you want to do it with the slaves and Harriet Tubman, or if you want to do it with the freaking pirates, the Buccaneers, and it's garbage. I like the settlement building system, despite the crap people gave it, because it's fun to just mess around with. I don't like how they released the 50 gigabyte texture pack, HD texture pack, that just doesn't change shit, just makes the game load 20 minutes slower. The game looks like ass, which is why they made that in the first place, but it failed. Modding it sucks because you have to have it packed in the B2A files, or else, unless you want to edit the INI files. But if you don't have a freaking god tier computer, it just doesn't like it when you use the archive files like the old games used to, which run perfectly fine. It's garbage. The Skyrim Special Edition is literally just Skyrim in the Fallout 4 engine. Fuck that. It doesn't even look as good as modded regular Skyrim.
Honestly.
Freaking Fallout 76 isn't even a game. They might as well have made it a mobile app, just like the Elder Scrolls bullshit. There's nothing to explain about Fallout 76.
Is a hot
not
piece
only
of
is a hot piece of shit to play, it fucks up the lore in so many ways. Like, why are there super mutants this early? Why are there Deathclaws this early? None of this makes sense.
Yeah, if you're gonna be lazy about it, at least be a good lazy.
Deathclaws and
logical lazy.
were raided by the Master from Fallout 1, Dr. Richard Moreau, which is like, I think hundreds of years later. Like, sure, you could say what's going to happen when you do FEV on these things, but Deathclaws are specifically made by the military in the Mariposa base and were edited by Dr. Moreau with the FEV and further animal stock. And the super mutants were specifically formulated by using the FEV in certain ways and changing the FEV to make people in the super mutants. And now they're just fucking everywhere. Like, fuck that. Oh, and then Bethesda does this in Fallout 4 too. Like, why does every goddamn fucking company have FEV? That was some secret top government shit in a military base. Then they gave it to Vault-Tec. I can kind of understand that because they kind of worked with the U.S. government. Then they gave it to the Institute. Why would they give it to the Institute? They're a college. They were a college before the war. Why would they give it no? And then I guess everyone just fucking had it. It was in the water because they were testing it on a town, and that turned them into super mutants. So no, that's fucking stupid. Also, Fallout 4 and 76 super mutants look like ogres. Super mutants are supposed to be the next evolution in humanity. They're supposed to be superior. Why do they all got pot bellies and they're all stupid? Original super mutants some of them became brutes, but a lot of them retained their intelligence, and some even got smarter. That was rare, but it happened. Same thing in Fallout Vegas, because that was just a continuation. And in Fallout 3, the way it worked was, if they were smart as a human, they could relearn to be smart as a dumb super mutant, which is good. And then, in Fallout 4 and 76, they're all just ogres, and none of them can be smart. Unless they're except for that one guy, Virgil, I think his name.
Yeah,
was.
Virgil
Unless
out
you're
in
Virgil.
the fucking wasteland.
If you're Virgil, you can be smart. It's like, but that was so fucking stupid. They ruined the Brotherhood because I honestly didn't have a problem with what they did in Fallout 3, because the Brotherhood in Fallout 3, everyone's like, oh, they're the Power Rangers, like, well, they're doing good, but my Brotherhood, it's a bunch of isolationist assholes, and it's like, yeah, okay, the isolationist assholes, yeah. They were still kind of isolationist. They didn't just let anybody in. They specifically made you do shit. They just weren't as bad as the originals. And they were specifically kicked out because it was Lions that wanted to do this, and there were still people in the group that wanted to be like the original ways. So you can't be all like, I don't like what they did in Fallout 3. It's a bullshit argument. Hbomberguy can fucking suck my dick. His video is well made, but his points are dumb, moot, and I can explain all of them wrong. Oh, for example, there's another one where he's like, they paid more attention to the gore in the eyeballs and the brain matter when splattering an opponent's head than the main quest line. And it's like, that doesn't even fucking happen if you don't choose an optional bloody mess perk. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, no, that's...
It's
they
all
did that
subjective
for fun.
stuff that you just didn't like that you did.
Yeah, most of it is subjective. He barely brought up valid points, like, where are their supply lines? Like, I think he did. It was like a 3-hour long video, so spare me if I get some details wrong. But like, where are the supply lines? I can understand, like, yeah, okay, their food's kind of fucked up, but they do farm Brahmin, so they're not absolutely doing nothing. And they could be farming vegetables. I mean, we know that they farm mutt fruit in the Point Lookout, and they're all mutated fucks. So I'm pretty sure the normal non-incest bumpkins can fucking plant some shit and grow it. We just don't see it like they do in Fallout 4. So that's not really an argument. It's not a non-argument, but it's not moot. But it's not really an argument because you can leave that to the imagination. There's enough there for you to leave it to the imagination. It's not like they didn't give you anything. Like there's trading rings, there's trading rings to trade, and there's supply routes. There's like we can assume that they're growing shit. We just don't see it.
Yeah,
and
that's
like I can explain away all of these points. That's not what this podcast is about, though. I just don't like what they did with Fallout. Fallout 3 was the last good Bethesda Fallout. I personally think that Fallout Shelter was better than Fallout 4.
Because you actually sat down and played and enjoyed Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I can play Fallout Shelter much longer than I can play Fallout 4 for a session.
Yeah, and
you go ahead.
And Bethesda. What about ESO? What did you think of ESO as a game?
I mean, it was all right. I like how they're introducing dragons that don't all look the same.
I feel like they're just writing Skyrim's dick. They're just like, oh, these fucking dudes want dragons, so we're gonna give it to them again.
But at least they look different this time.
Yeah, there is variety.
Every dragon without mods looks the same, except for Parthenax and Alduin.
That's true.
And then, like, I think maybe the first one you fight. And I was like, what? So lazy. So lazy! And then most of the trolls are just recolors. Same thing with the giants. I don't even think there's a giant variety without mods. I just play with mods so much the lines are blurred because you can't really play it without it.
Honestly. And then you start just doing other bullshit like adding aliens and predators and shit in it.
Oh yeah, my mods are fucking crazy.
You start adding theme songs when enemies show up. Yeah.
You hear Yujiro's theme when a fucking giant comes up. That's some cool shit, okay? Like, okay, that's some good shit. Let's watch this moist meter on One Punch Man, guys.
We can. We'll just have to talk to you and keep you interested in it enough.
Critical won't take us down.
I fucking hope not.
Why would he? He's cool. Moisture.
By the way, that's Penguinzo with a 0. That's PNG.
Yeah, he's called Critical on his streams.
Or he's called Critical on his streams. It's PNGUINZ0 on his YouTube channel if you want to check him out. He's pretty good.
Animation is peak in every department. The character isn't of One Punch Man, is it?
This is a moist meter of One Punch Man.
The first season of One Punch Man is an absolute fucking masterpiece in every department. The characters are well written, the comedy lands, the animation is beyond beautiful. Every fight scene in the first season of One Punch Man is truly outstanding, thanks to a lot of the freelancers that really worked on it and put a lot of passion and soul into it, leading to this incredible and very unique, very rare season of anime. Everything about the first season of One Punch Man is beautiful perfection.
Of course, we all know the first season of One Punch Man was fucking awesome. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it.
Season 1 and Season 2. Season 2 just finished. I didn't even fucking know it ended because the last episode wasn't a great send-off. And the whole season was just an unbelievable downgrade in every conceivable department that it leaves a bitter taste in my butthole.
Season 2 was I enjoyed some of it. I think there were disappointing parts, but I do think while it wasn't as good, it was still a decent, enjoyable anime.
Yeah.
It's so lively and fun that even though Season 2 was significantly worse than the first season in every way, still a good season. It was still enjoyable.
See? There you go. I told you. It was an enjoyable season, regardless of the fact that it may have dropped off slightly.
Yeah.
It comes down entirely to the studio.
Not slightly.
Yeah, not slightly.
Quantifiably. Infinitesimally. I don't think I said that right.
To lead to such an extraordinary season.
Infinitesimally.
Season 2 is handed off to the fast food chain of anime called JC Staff. They do really suboptimal work, literally no passion. It's barely better than YouTube animators, and that's kind of why it's so bad.
That's true. I do notice that in some points during the second season, there are some points where the animation is on point and the level of detail is nice, and then you go to the next frame over and it's like, why the fuck is he like a dragon now? The quality drops off, and they do it. It's not like it's a few and far between thing. Like, they do it too often for this to be like just a mistake. This is just laziness.
Yep.
That half of the fucking season is just still images with a shaky cam. I swear to God, the first 2 episodes don't even have anything moving. It's just the camera with some fucking art they found on DeviantArt, fan art. It's fucking embarrassing.
Fan art.
It's really upsetting that season 2 turned out the way it did. But before I get into everything wrong with season 2, I want to talk about why you should watch season 1 if you haven't already. Even if you fucking hate cartoons, animation...
Even if you hate cartoons and animes.
In general, you will still probably like the first season of One Punch Man. Even from a conceptual level, I think it is extraordinary. And One Punch Man is about a man who is so incredibly powerful, the most powerful being that you could ever imagine in any form of media, and about his struggle to find fun, find a purpose. He wants to not kill things in one punch. No matter who he faces, no matter how strong, it always ends with a single punch. Now, on the surface, that sounds like it's boring because, well, every fight
I don't want to...
is going to end in a punch.
No, we're just quiet here for a minute, but if we're gonna talk about animes, real quick, the last subject, I know we were quiet there for a minute, the last subject I want to touch on before we head out, because I want to keep it on for too long, we just hit the hour mark not too long ago. What is your favorite anime of all time, if you have one?
Of all times, it's fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you retard. I got the figures and I got the manga, why else? It's the best shit. Put some hair on your chest, fuck a man's ass, fucking be comfortable with your sexuality. You're straight. That shit's good.
And what's your favorite part for JoJo?
Part 2. No, I'm not a manga only, you libtards. The fucking Pillarmen are the best. Fucking Gio can suck my cock. Oh wait, no he can't, he's 15 unless we're in Italy, baby. And what else? Fucking Part 6, I kind of like it a lot, actually. I'm reading it right now. Part 7 is really good, but I didn't really vibe with it. Didn't connect with me. Haven't started Part 8 at all, because I want to wait for it to be finished. Part 3 was pretty good. It is the longest part, in my opinion, and it kind of drags at points. So it's kind of one of the weakest. Sorry,
okay.
Jotaro. Part 4 is pretty good. I think it's going to be my mom's favorite when she watches it. Part 1 is my second weakest, but you gotta love Jonathan. So yeah.
Yeah.
Part 2 is my favorite. Fucking Joseph eats cold SpaghettiOs out of the can, and I don't give 2 shits.
And for me, my favorite anime, because I've watched it for so long, is just gotta be Dragon Ball. And I know that's like the cliche, and you say, oh, all the people like Dragon Ball, it's so popular. You don't like actual anime, but I just didn't.
What's that one video where it's like, what's your favorite anime says about you? And it was had a picture of Goku. It was Dragon Ball Z. You don't really like anime, do you?
I just enjoy Dragon Ball. I think it's fun and enjoyable. I think there's some good stuff, especially with the new Broly movie that came out. That movie is phenomenal, and it's beautiful. It's phenomenal. It's beautifully animated, and I'm pretty sure that team is staying on for the new season of Secret coming out, and I'm really excited.
Freaking clap Chilai's cheeks. She on point.
Back to fucking. I enjoy Dragon Ball.
Broly's 9-foot long cock.
The Cell Saga is my favorite saga.
I think my favorite saga would be the Frieza saga because I think it's the tightest and strongest written.
I suppose. I just love Cell. Cell's always been my favorite villain, and I think he's the strongest of all of them, except Boo.
Lips. The Team 4-Star made Dragon Ball pretty funny.
The Team 4-Star, yeah. Honestly, I did watch the abridged, and I think it is the abridged is fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Look at the cupcake button that doesn't exist.
I like Dragon Ball. Fucking Super. I don't care what y'all say. I'm never gonna watch it. Explain why you like it.
Why I like Super?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know about Super for the longest time until the Tournament of Power came around. Which is literally the last, I think 20 episodes around is when I started watching. And all I did was watch from episode 100 to 126, whichever number it was that it ended. And I was like, okay, this is fucking cool. Ultra Instinct is fucking badass, and I really enjoy this. But there's more to it, including like it begins based on the movie the Battle of the Gods movie. It retells that story just in a movie format or in a TV show format. So I went back and watched it, and there were some the really cool stories. Like my favorite arc of all of Super is the Future Trunks arc with Goku Black and Zamasu.
He's not black.
No, that's funny, but like it is my favorite arc of all time in Dragon Ball, and it's fucking cool, and it was a really cool idea that they played on pretty well.
I think they could have done more of it personally, but yeah.
But it was fun
Me,
as hell.
person who doesn't watch the show.
And there's just some funny moments in it as well, like just stupid stuff that you see in Dragon Ball, like Vegeta not knowing how to fucking crack an egg. It was the stupidest shit ever, but it was fucking funny.
Of course it's funny, but he's the fucking Prince of all Saiyans. He can make breakfast.
But
you're telling me fucking they don't know egg protein fucking swallowing cups and shit? What?
But no, definitely I didn't watch until like episode 100.
I apologize for the incoherent babble.
I didn't watch until episode 100, and then I finished it, and then I went back and rewatched, or not rewatched, I went back and watched all of it, and I was like, yeah, this is worth it, this is good. And then because then I finally saw the two universes battle out, Goku's universe, and I think it was universe 7 or universe 6, I don't remember which number it was, but the mirror universe for Goku's universe go at it, and it was pretty good. It was again just fun, and I think as a whole, the action and whatnot and humor kept me into it the entire time.
Whoa, by the way, when I said most of the population has below 20 IQ points,
a while ago,
that was a joke. I don't think everyone's retarded. I think
satire.
It's just, no, you satire guys. It's just a joke. No, but no criticism. No, I was being angry. But no, if you like CinemaSins, I don't hate you. I just hate the content you like. It's you're not stupid, but especially if you're listening to the Chris podcast. Whoa, what's this podcast called?
It's just
the Chris podcast. Whoa!
It's just Jimmy Crust for now.
Oh, Jimmy Crust!
Jimmy Crust. Alright, well, that's actually really it for me. I think we touched on everything I wanted to talk about, and we got a lot of time into it. It's about to be 107, 1 hour, 7 minutes, which is really good. I think that's about average for a podcast, honestly. So, that's really all it is from us. So, I was here together with, it was me, Jimmy Crust, or Meme God page if you find me on Instagram. I'll put that in the link below.
And me, Anttron, on Instagram, doing my draws.
And I'll link his as well. You can check out some of his drawing. He's got some pretty good stuff over there. And
Borderlands drawing is shit. Sorry.
And you can suggest art to him as well, things you'd like to see him do, and he may or may not do it.
I might draw it.
He might do it. He's got some pretty good art, and I think you should definitely check him out. So I'll put our links down below, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you're not already subscribed, I'm going to be doing hopefully regular uploads. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll keep you guys updated on when I'm going to upload skits and podcasts and things like that. So definitely follow and subscribe if you like things like this. If you're interested in more of it, suggestions down in the comments or just comments in general, just things you have to say or topics of discussion you'd like me to have in the future. And like the video as well if you enjoyed sitting here for an hour and 8 minutes. Hopefully we were entertaining enough for you. So that's really all from us. Appreciate you for stopping on by, and if you're still here. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.